sweeping of the Preds, Trevor Zegras' birthday, and much more on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome everydayers. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. My name is Kyle Carr. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan, and I have covered collegiate sports for multiple years, including college hockey. But today we are talking Anaheim Ducks hockey. We got a couple things to talk about. We first off need to talk about the Nashville Predators game that just occurred. The Ducks sweeping the series against the Predators this season. And then we got to go into Trevor Zegras' birthday and talk about the birthday boy himself. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of the keys to the flock and what led them to victory today and what the Ducks need to do for the rest of the season. So to get into it, let's talk about tonight's game. My goodness, it started off a little slow. It was Gibson's return to the lineup, so little nerves there as he comes back from injury. Nesterenko was out due to an illness, so Oliver Chillington gets to get his first appearance as a Duck. However, he is a defenseman, but tonight he played as a fourth line winger. So little interesting choice there, but I get the defense is healthy. The forwards are not. So you got to get him in, get some play time. And hey, why not? Get him in there. Again, happy birthday to Trevor Zegras. Showed up for his birthday game tonight. And like I said, the start was a little slow. Gave kind of scary vibes. I was a little worried giving off the first few minutes of the game. They did give up the first power play to Nashville, who ended up scoring off a Stamkos one-timer. It was absolutely gorgeous. Just a complete bomb of a shot right into the net. There's nothing really the Ducks could do on that one, except for maybe not give the penalty. Then they ended up giving a late penalty later in the period, which carried over into the second, but luckily they were able to fight that one off. Literally the first Ducks shot on goal did not come until 10 minutes into the game. They literally, it was just over 10 minutes of playtime when they got their first shot of the game. However, bright side of it, they did end the first period with 10 shots on goal. So they started to pick it up, started to bring on the pressure. They were looking really good. The shot count was a little weird because, yeah, they didn't have shots on net and it wasn't showing on, the score sheet and everything, but their energy overall was really high. They were bringing a lot of pace, a lot more rush chances, and the lines were a little mixed up. Kind of some weird movement. The biggest movement that was noticeable in tonight's game, though, was Zegras, McTavish, and Leeson, being on the same line together. Those three were working and feeding off each other really well. So I really like the combo of those three playing tonight, even as a third line grouping there. And the second period, the Ducks, like I said, they were bringing it. They ended the first period with 10 shots. Well, in the second period, they had 12 shots on goal and 3 goals. 3 beautiful goals, by the way, 2 of which were scored on the rush, and 1 was due to great offensive pressure. First goal of the game, it was started by Zegras. He bounces the puck up and out of the defensive zone, gives it right up to Leeson in the neutral zone, who enters the zone basically on a 2-on-1 with McTavish. He waits, delays, feeds McTavish. McTavish gets stuffed by Noonan, but he leaves a huge rebound right in front for Lacombe just to clean up. He was licking his chops. It was such a beauty of a just laying there right there for him. So Lacombe, that's his 12th goal of the season. He's now 4th place in defenseman goals scored for a defenseman under the age of 25. So he is 4th now for the Ducks franchise in that, tied 4th. Just under 5 minutes later, Minchikov sends Zegras up into the offensive zone with a good tape-to-tape pass, literally from the D zone all the way right, leads him into the offensive zone, right along the boards. And then Zegras he senses Terry right behind him, so he drops the puck back. Terry starts moving it right into the middle of the ice, uses Stamkos as a screen, and snipes a beauty of a shot. Good to see Terry get another goal again. I've just been raving and ranting about this guy. He does all the little things right. You could see it again tonight. He's just such a hungry player. Shuts down the D, creates great offense for the team, and tonight gets another goal with that snipe. And then with 2 minutes of game time later, so we've got 3 goals in just under 8 minutes of play time for the Ducks tonight. That is what you want to see. So 2 minutes of game time later, Ducks have good offensive zone time. They're moving the puck around. Then it goes down low to McTavish. He's down at the red line, moves it up to Hellison, who's kind of cutting in. Hellison gets a shot off, and then it bounces off of Noonan again. And Zegras is right there in the blue paint where I've been saying the Ducks need to go. That is exactly where Trevor Zegras is sitting. He bops it, kind of bounces it around, fumbles it a little bit, and then bats it into the back of the net. We got a 3-1 game going into the third. A couple penalties back and forth. There was a little 4-on-4 hockey. No one scored on that. A little chippy by Nashville, kind of understandably, as they were dominating in the shot count at one point, and then the Ducks just turned it on. It was pretty much even throughout the whole night. There wasn't really a difference in the point or the shots and the power play percentage, the face-offs, the hits. It was literally pretty much even across the board, other than the Ducks having that better score at the end of the game. Get myself a little tongue-tied there. Sorry about that. But overall, tonight's game, it was a rush type offense. It seemed like Cronin kind of let the boys go tonight and let them play their style a little looser. They weren't as shutting down or trying to play a defensive structure. It was a lot more aggressive offense type mentality. Lacombe tonight, oh my gosh, this guy, I swear, he's as cool as ice. He just, one, he gets a goal tonight, and then 2, he's just shutting down plays left and right. There's one time, it was Stamkos was on a breakaway, and Lacombe just comes around, pokes the puck right from behind him, gives it right to Gudis. They move it up ice, like just a bunch of shutdown moments for Lacombe, and he continues to just impress me every single night. And the way he's so calm and so collected in the defense, and his ability to back check and knock the puck off of sticks and use his body, like it's everything that we would want from a young defenseman, especially after losing Cam Fowler. Is just Lacombe. He is the guy right now. He's creating everything, and just so many. There was a couple times where he literally takes it out of the zone on his own, rushes up. He's joining the rush. Like, I cannot say enough good things about the way that Lacombe is playing. Troy Terry just firing on all cylinders, and Trevor Zegras. Zegras was on fire tonight for his birthday, and we're going to talk about him just after this. Going to give you a little breakdown of just how his season's going and how his year went from last year's birthday to this year. So stick around after the break, and we'll get into Trevor Zegras and the birthday boy celebration.
Did you know getting a good night's sleep is the #1 recipe for long-term success in life? I didn't. It took me way longer to realize than I'd like to admit. It was years of tossing and turning. I was always tired. I never felt like I could live up to my potential, but not anymore. Thanks to Bear Mattress. I used their sleep quiz and I matched with the Elite Hybrid. It's perfect for side sleepers like me. Now I wake up energized. I'm getting deeper sleeps and I'm ready to attack the day. No matter how you sleep, Bear Mattress has a match for you with a focus on recovery, cooling, and pressure relief to upgrade your sleep and improve your overall quality of life. Go to bearmattress.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL at checkout for 40% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use my promo code on the very last page of checkout to get this discount. That's bearmattress.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 40% off site-wide. Bearmattress.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL.
All right, we're back, guys, and it is Trevor Zegras' birthday. Time to party. It is his 24th birthday, so still under 25, which is pretty much the entire roster of the Anaheim Ducks right now. So happy birthday to Trevor Zegras. Hope you enjoyed it tonight, as you had a great assist tonight and a beautiful goal. Just playing the right style of hockey got him success. You could see he was hungry on his birthday tonight. So kind of giving you a little breakdown of how Zegras' year went. Last year in the 2023-2024 season, he was injured in Nashville against Nashville, I should say, in January of 2024, which resulted in a broken ankle, and he was out for almost 2 months. Broken ankles, never fun. He just got back from injury like a month before that. So he was out, comes back almost a year later, almost to the T, in December of 2024. So this season, Zegras has to go under surgery for a torn meniscus after an injury out in Vegas. So from January, makes it all the way to 2024, gets injured again. He has to be out. He was out for quite a little while. He ended up coming back in January, towards the end of the season. I think the 21st of January was his first game, 2025. And since then, he has had 4 goals, 9 assists, and a total of 13 points. He has been rocking pretty well since he came back. And you have to remember, there was a 3-game suspension in that span of time as well. So love to have Zegras back. Love to have the way he's playing. This is one of those guys. I talked about it before as well. He's kind of in that weird trade rumor bubble. It seems like him and John Gibson are constantly on the rumor mill for getting traded out of Anaheim. People saying, oh, they need a change of scenery. And after his flashy first year, it just hasn't been the same. And he's not into Anaheim. He's not liking it and stuff. But the way he's been playing ever since he came back, it's that the Boo Birds have completely been shut, and it is night and day. Like the pressure that he brings, the physicality that he's playing, his 200-foot game. He's not only using his skill set that he has with his hands and his passing ability and the way he's just able to see lanes, but he's been using a lot more of a defensive type play. He's been using his body a lot more. You can see him just way more aggressive on the forecheck, shutting down clears. Like every game I see him at least getting 2, 3, 4 hits a game, and his angling is just really improved when it comes to getting under the stick and making sure that they retain possession. So really have liked the way that Zegras has come back and the type of play that he's had. So I really hope he continues it. I think it's only up from here, and just his comments after post games lately, you can just tell that he literally said he's having the most fun he's had in a very long time playing hockey with these boys and being in this chase and in this pressure cooker of the end of a season. Really like the way that his vibe is around the team right now. And then just kind of giving you a breakdown of him as a total for the season. He has 8 goals on the season, 15 assists, and a total of 23 points. So that's all of 2020, 24, 2025 thus far. And we still got 13 games of hockey left. Last year, he only had 15 points. 15 points last year. Granted, the 2 injuries took a lot of that play time out, but to go from 15 points last year to now have 23 points this year, including an injury and a suspension, he has been a lot more of an offensive presence this year. Tonight, I really noticed that him playing with McTavish and with Leeson, it really felt like the 3 of them really just were invigorating each other. It seemed like there was kind of a hop in McTavish's step again. I think they that Zegras and McTavish played a lot of time together. They built a lot of chemistry over the years, and they have been separated uh, for the most part of this season. But you could tell when those two get together that there's a bond there. There's chemistry. There's like it just brought the better out of each player. And then Leeson was just completely buzzing compared to normal. I think he was just he's feeling the hop of getting pushed up from the fourth line to the third line, and then getting to play with McTavish and Zegras. I mean, anyone's gonna have that energy built back into you. So really like that line. I want to see if Cronin keeps that together. It would be, I think, a very wise and smart play for him to do that. So we'll see how the rest of the season progresses and what Cronin has in mind for that, as he usually has Z playing with Carlson and Killorn, but having Carlson with Cutter Gauthier tonight was another improvement that I really liked. So I think the shuffling of the lines that Cronin has done the last couple of days has ended up benefiting the team. They were getting a little stale, a little stagnant. I think this kind of jumping in and giving this little shock treatment to the guys has really paid off, at least in the last two games. And then kind of talking about Zegras' whole career, he's at this point, he's played 255 games. The injury that occurred to him previously, where he got the broken ankle in Nashville, that was his 200th game playing too. Like, what a bummer. Your 200th game, it's a milestone game, and all of a sudden you're breaking an ankle. Just complete bummer on that end of things. But he's at 255 games now, and he has 177 career points. So all looking up for Z right now. He's been completely dominant since he came back. I've just absolutely loved his play style. I think I can take my resentments that I had I just felt like watching the minors league, like these little kids growing up, my son's age kids and all the kids in youth hockey around here. Zegras, great inspiration. He's obviously, like, he had the Instagram kind of fame, and he's got the Michigans, and he was on the Chell 23 cover and all that. But I felt like he was wearing off on the young kids in the wrong way. Like, they were seeing like the Instagram, YouTube skill style and not playing like actual good team hockey. And a lot of more individualistic play was coming out of it. It was pretty frustrating to watch as a hockey dad, watching these kids just hog the puck, trying to deke through and toe drag and Michigan and do all these moves when they have players that are open on the net. So glad that he's kind of starting to evolve more of a 200-foot game, and now that can wear off on these younger players. And then the California youth hockey can only grow that much more. It is absolutely buzzing out here when it comes to youth hockey. Like, these programs are, the Ducks have done so many great things when it comes to youth hockey out here. And now this inspiration of Zegras playing this physical 200-foot game is just going to make it that much better. So happy birthday to you, Zegras. I hope you enjoy your 24th, and we can't wait to celebrate your 25th next year out here in Anaheim. It's going to be a fun year coming up ahead, and I am so looking forward to seeing where the Ducks are at your 21st birthday next year, because the way you guys have been playing this year, I can only imagine how much better it's going to be next year. So happy birthday, Z. Speaking of the future, the rest of the season, we got 13 games going on. What are the keys to the flock for Cronin and for the players to apply? We're going to talk about that coming up after this. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks. 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who is cutting down those nets. 200 bucks, guys. I love using FanDuel because, like I've said before, basketball is not my jam, but I do love March Madness, and I love being able to stay up with it. Everyone's a basketball expert once March Madness starts, even though they haven't been following it. But with FanDuel, you can be the expert. You can follow along, see what money lines are going on, what the comebacks are proposed. Pick your bets, nice, fast, and easy. Do it with FanDuel, and you're going to win big bucks if you win $5. So make sure you visit fanduel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
We are back, and we are ready to talk about the keys to the flock. What is needed by the team to finish out the rest of this year strong? We've been talking about it. I've been just harping on speed being needed from this team. This team is built on a rush style of play. They cannot play this slow style of trying to set up and play defensively. Whatever was happening the last few weeks was not the Duck style of play that was needed. Tonight, however, Cronin, it seemed like he finally allowed the team to play a rush style game, which like I said, this team thrives with it. They have so many young players that know how to use their speed, that can play on the rush. And when they have the gates open to them, they show it time and time again just how successful they can be. It just seems like whatever was going on, those last like 5 losses that the Ducks had, I kept mentioning it, like they would have someone kind of coming up, but then there was no puck support, and then they'd get in the zone and they'd delay, and they would just end up having no support, no help, and then given a turnover, having no one on the back check. It was just very slow, very monotonous type hockey that wasn't paying off. And now Cronin lets the reins off, and these guys were flying out there. They have a few days until Sunday, so got a couple days off, maybe give them a day of optional skate where they can rest or whatnot, but they've got to work on the lines that they had tonight. I feel like the way that he had the lineup tonight was a very good mix. Also, there's potential for Nestorenko to come back. There's potential for Colangelo to come back. That if those two enter the lineup as well, that could only be completely beneficial. I could see a fourth line with Nestorenko and Colangelo up on the third line. Like there's the possibilities are endless right now with this team if they can all get healthy. Nestorenko was only out for a sickness, so hopefully that's not a bug that carries out too long. And then Colangelo, still waiting on him to be back in. Hopefully it's not a massive injury that takes him out for a long time. So really, really hoping to have him back. We've got Gibson back. That's a huge thing right now. He was phenomenal tonight. He had 33 saves on 34 shots on a game back after being out for a couple weeks is always huge for a goaltender. So now Gibson, Dostal, the duo is back in action. Billy Huso got sent back to San Diego. So absolutely great opportunity for the Ducks right now to finish out this year strong. And even if it doesn't result in the playoff spot and they don't get into the playoffs with the wild card, I know it's kind of like the pick that they'll get won't be the best. Like their options, who knows what they're going to have. But I say end the year with confidence. The more you can end this year with strength and confidence, the better. We don't need to worry about draft picks right now. The Ducks have so many people in the pipeline right now. They just had 2 guys signed down there for their amateur contract in San Diego. We got more coming up from college. And then we got another player that just signed. I don't have his name right in front of me. I'll get that next week we'll talk, or tomorrow I'll make sure to have his name up and ready to give you guys. But we've got a couple signings down in San Diego. We've got Solberg coming over. We've got just absolute talent down in San Diego, building and building and building. So we cannot be worried about having a good draft pick right now. They just need to have the playtime and the confidence and end this season strong. There's a lot of good competition coming up in these last 13 games. So the more these guys can play, the stronger, the better. I have all the faith in the guys right now. This is a perfect time for them to have just dominant type of ending to the season. There's no pressure. There's no, like that. The chase type thing is over. They don't have to be stressed out about that. So just go out there and take it. Take these games, guys. And that all comes from using this rush style of offense that was used today. Continue working on that speed, continue working these lines, practicing, creating chemistry, letting these guys get comfortable. Just loosen up the reins. We don't need to be stickler guy right now. That doesn't need to happen there, Cronin. Just have some fun with the boys. Let them play. You saw how it went tonight. Just continue. Utilize that north to south type play. And the passing tonight, the passing was so crisp. The tape to tapes, the exits out of the zones, they were just solid. It wasn't as much fumbling as we've been seeing. Like, I don't know how many times, even the Dallas game and then the St. Louis, it was like every other pass was in someone's feet or behind them, or it was like they were just trying to force too much. Whereas tonight there was a little bit more looseness in their play, a little bit more fun. The boys were a buzzing. I really like the way that tonight went. The movement in the offensive zone. That's another thing that the Ducks did really well tonight. They actually were clogging up the center. First, it was a little worrisome. There was a couple times where there was like 2-3 guys down below the net, and that doesn't create. You cannot score. This is taught to you at a young age. You cannot score when you're behind the opponent's net. Maybe you can give a pass to someone, but if 3 of you, all 3 forwards, are below the net, how are you supposed to score on the opposing goal? It's not going to happen. So get out, get in front, and they finally started to do that. The cycling tonight was fantastic. There was at one point the defense, Lacombe was down below the red line. We had Zellweger down below, Minchikov. The defense were down low. The forwards were up high. Guys were in front of the net. Zegras' trash goal tonight, picking it up, putting the trash in the back of the net. That's where we need from the team right now. Take control of the center of the ice and continue to utilize that movement and the cycling, wear out the opponents. I don't know if this is like Cronin's style or like this has been his method, and that's why there's been inconsistency, but it seems like he like holds them back. He like puts the reins on, makes them play like this shut down, boring kind of style of hockey. And then I don't know if they like watch tape and he goes over or what he does, but it's like all of a sudden he lets them loose and lets them play. And they're basically utilizing the same methods that defeated the Ducks in the previous games. Like tonight with the speed and the cycle and the transitions and using the entire offensive zone and not just the perimeter. It was like everything that has been ruining the Ducks and their scoring chances and their inability to score was what they did tonight. It was the exact opposite. So it just, I don't know if that's what's leading to the inconsistency or it's just the fact that it's a young team and they're kind of just having these up and down moments. But whatever worked tonight, I really, really, really hope that Cronin continues to work on it and applies it to the game on Sunday against the Hurricanes. So I hope they enjoy their break. I hope they use this time to rest up, get those guys back that are injured and unhealthy, have them be healthy, get them all up together, get them to speed, work on those plays, and continue to build the chemistry and end the season strong, guys. This is what we're looking forward to. I think the Ducks are going to be in a very, very solid state here the last couple of games. So Sunday, I'll actually be at the game in person. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to it. Carolina's in a very, very strong place right now after the Rantanen trade. So, but like we know, the Ducks, they can play up. They play pretty strong against really good teams. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you're looking forward to it as well. But before Sunday, we still have our Friday episode, and I will be bringing that future Fridays tomorrow, talking about all of our minor league programs and how things are looking down in San Diego and in college and ECHL and all those other leagues. We'll be talking about that tomorrow on Futures Friday. So make sure you tune in, like, subscribe, share with all your friends, family, Ducks fans, non-fans, every fan, whatever it is, share it and get them locked on with Locked On Ducks, guys. Thank you for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On NHL podcast, bringing you the daily league-wide stories that matter with the local coverage you love from Locked On. Find Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I am Kyle Carr. Be good out there.